Okay, let's start it out with the eviction notices. Now, there's 3 types of eviction notices in the 50 states. The first one is used, I would say, the most, the non-payment of rent. Each state has a time frame that the tenant has to pay the amount before you can move forward into the eviction process. It could be a 3-day notice, it can be a 5-day notice, it could be a 7-day notice, and the notices are in your state version. But the quit or pay, once they don't pay, we go forward into the eviction. Now, I suggest personal service, and if you have a disgruntled tenant, let's bring a witness with an affidavit. So when we get into court, we got to make sure to the judge that that notice was served. Now, another tip for the non-payment of rent is to show this notice Gary does when he moves the tenants in. So we tell him, if we don't get the rent, you're going to be served this notice. You can't live in the property without paying the rent. One other big question I've had is, what if they pay partial? Accept the partial rent, serve them another quit or pay notice for the remaining. Get the money, serve them for the remaining. Now, the second type of eviction notices is breaking of the lease. Now, it has to be in your lease and the rules and regulations. And we will serve the breaking of lease notice. Now, that can range anywhere from 7 days in the 50 states to 10 days to 30 days. And what that does is the tenant has to have a remedy or cure the infraction within the time frame. And if they do not cure it, then we can go forward into the eviction process. Now, in some states, if they have the similar nature is repeated within 12 months, you will not have to serve the notice. You can go right to the eviction process. So that's the second eviction notice. The third eviction notice is the end of tenancy. How do you end a month-to-month tenancy? Well, the majority of the 50 states, it's a 30-day notice. So, for instance, we want to end July 1st, a 30-day notice. We would have to serve the notice prior to due date, June 1st. Now, remember, it has to be served 30 days prior to due date. Now, in some states, we can put a 60-day notice needed to end a month-to-month in your lease. So if we get into small claims, we could go for not 1 month, but 2 months. And that's all explained in the overview manuals and the state versions. So there's the 3 types of eviction notices: non-payment, break-in of the lease, or end of tenancy. Now, when you get into court, if you do not have these notices perfect, your case will be dismissed. This is one of the tenant's rights that we have to observe.